Hi guys, it's Infinity Week, and that means Infinity prizes. Every day this week we're giving away a different box set and a blister. Justin, let's see what today's is.
Alright, I know I've shaved at the minute, but here's the magic.
Oh yes, excellent stuff. Justin, tell us how you can win.
Okay, we've got 2 videos per day going out for Infinity Week, guys. So, comment on one video, that's 1 entry. Comment on both, that's 2 entries. And if you're greedy and you really want a chance to win these cool prizes, comment on Beasts of War and YouTube so you can have 4 entries into the prize draw.
Excellent. Well, get button smashing now.
Now, before we go, we have an extra video going out this Saturday with something extra special from Infinity that nobody has seen yet. And Carlos has put forward an amazing prize for it. So guys, stay tuned. Watch on Saturday for the great video that's coming out that day for the mystery prize.
Hi and welcome back to Infinity Week 3. I'm joined again by Carlos, myself Gavin, and we're going this time through the Tohaa. So this is again the artwork that didn't make it into the art book but is astounding, and I mean, the level of stuff I'm seeing here, if this is the stuff that didn't make it in the book's going to be absolutely amazing. So, you know, as before, bring us into who are the Tohaa. I mean, they're quite a new faction.
Remember to pre-order the book and you will have a special exclusivity for free. And remember, if you go to GenCon and buy the book, you will have the chance to also, you will have the exclusive miniature of Miranda Ashcroft for free. And remember that this is not the stuff that actually will be in the book. This is just to say, we have lots of artwork.
Yeah, really, really awesome artwork.
Okay, yeah, about the Tohaa. The Tohaa were introduced with the campaign Paradiso book, as you may know. They are a new alien race that enters in this human sphere scenario where there is the combined army, the evil alien force, smashing humanity, a very discoordinated humanity that keeps on fighting among them instead of fighting against the aliens. And this is the new alien race that appears, seeking for an alliance with humanity in order to fight back the combined army. But they seem not to be really, really good guys also. They seem not to be better than the combined army. Everybody has doubts about their intentions. They say that they are just trying to put humanity in the middle so they can have all the damage and skip the conflict. So there are many duality and reasons and doubts about their loyalty. So this new alien race, well, they also have some deep knowledge of the evolution of life in the universe, and they have been exploring planets and exalting other species, which means that they made those species more intelligent and more capable, and they also work for the Tohaa army, like the Chaksa that has been recently released. So there are, you know, lights and shadows in their fluff, and they have a very stylish line of design. And we're going to get into that, yes. Yeah,
I mean, so we've got the Gal Tarsos unit, which is a drop trooper.
Yes.
Yep. And again, it's look at all the different factions that do have a real different visual style, each and every one. So in terms of the Tohaa, whereas you've got like the Combine, which are the big gribbly monsters, they're quite headstrong and powerful looking. The Tohaa are a lot more shifty, a lot more slight in their builds, but still spiky, prickly. You know, they look like they can do damage, but it's not kind of a direct full frontal assault. These look like the guys who come up around the back and slit your throat kind of thing. So like this guy, again, really brilliant styling. He's got these 3 massive kind of wings on the back, part of his jetpack, and you've got the kind of semi-organic side of things to the undersuit, and the colours. It really makes him look like a predator, but a shifty one. You see what I mean?
Yeah, the Gal Tarsos. I can see that in the front view of this design, there are not the wings. This is part of the way Carlos Torres is designing some stuff. Is everything made of various layers, and when you have just so many layers in one design, sometimes you have to separate them and to show the sculptor who's going to have to you know, attack that design. showed all the layers that have been made into the design, because sometimes there are so many details that it's impossible to understand what's going on.
I mean, that would distract if you're trying to look from the front with the wings there. It would distract from what you're trying to focus on.
Yeah, it's too much detail, I guess. I will say that the Tohaa are the most detailed miniatures from the Infinity range. This is madness, totally. If you look at many Tohaa designs, you will see that hand over there with that pointing finger. You will see that they all have that the hand. Why? Because Carlos Torres spent more than a few days making the basic Tohaa body and Tohaa anatomy. He rejected very good versions of it because he was looking for the manicky that he would use in order to create the whole army.
Yeah.
Because we were looking for a very stylish, stylized body. Okay,
yeah.
Thin guy, tall guy, but muscular guy, elegant posing. You know, we were looking.
And
Yes, I've been telling this will be like the elves or in Infinity Universe.
Yeah.
That was a basic idea. Also like vampires. Also like. You know, a noble alien race that can accomplish cruel duties, okay, but that they're noble, or they consider themselves noble, okay.
Yeah.
So with the Gau Tarsos, I have to make some special pages for the artist to see the back view and the front view with all the layers composing one layer at a time, so they can understand better the design.
So you've got kind of, you know, engines and different kind of thrusters here. You've got the plates over the top of that.
Yes, and if you buy the blister of this miniature, you will receive, you know, lots of pieces that you have to glue. So it takes time, but the result is
it's
impressive.
a fantastic miniature.
Yeah, and also being able to move all these elements and generate a good posing, and that's something Jose Luis was able to do, is even more difficult. I mean, there is just so much stuff. Some sculptures are so intimidated by a complex design that what they do is the same posing of the dossier. The guy is exactly. You know,
and that's not the idea.
And we are not asking for that. We need the guy to be moving, to be in action, to be dynamic, which is something that Infinity Miniatures usually have. So, you know, putting so much layers into one design and then trying to move it is usually very, very complex.
Let's move on to the actual miniature itself, and another dynamic design. You know, he's standing on one foot, so that's quite different to the pose you had previously. But you can see, you know, he's either running forward or he's just coming down to land.
Or landing, because there's a drop troop, there's a lot of movement into the miniature. We can see, look at the antennas from the head, almost colliding but not colliding with the wings, so the wings are short in order not to collide with that. So instead of having big wings in the upper side, they are for the lower side. Then we have these armor plates on the sides that I'm thinking about the Asawiria from Hack Islam also has that kind of armor plates, and they look really nice. Yeah,
and it's got kind of little thrusters and things around there as well, and you can see how all the layers have come together, and that, you know, the way you designed it on the paper before. You can see the front view, you can see where they then slotted the bits in the back, but they've done everything beneath that first, and it's really come together nicely. And just the level of details in there, you know, there's so many tiny little bits that really focus the eye. You know, even the kind of the texture of the kind of symbiotic suit underneath.
Yeah, hours and hours
brilliant.
And hours of sculpting there, really. I mean, this is something to be really proud of. I mean, having a good concept design that becomes a good miniature, that is excellent work from Carlos Torres and from Jose Luis Roig.
And then lends itself really well to the paint as well, and just really...
Well, Ángel Giraldez, yes, well. Sometimes I forget that we have one of the best miniature painters. I mean, he's incredible. And very professional also, because sometimes he, in order to reach the deadlines, he makes extra hours, whatever is necessary to reach the deadline. So that's and
you can really tell. I mean, the stuff is breathtaking. I mean, just going from the colours of the art and then onto the miniature, you know, it's really followed that closely, and it's really picked out the detail, really shown every little element of it. And then actually on the table itself.
Yeah, as you can see, there is a little Photoshop effect in this. Sometimes when I have time and I really enjoy this, I add some explosions, whatever, special effects, the glowing eyes, something else. I mean, this is...
Yeah, and just the light and the shadow and just the guys in the background, you can sense this is a force moving in. And it really...
I love it. I mean, this is Infinity at its best. I mean,
yeah, definitely. And then again, you know, you've got the kind of the difference between the kind of human architecture with the rust and everything else, and then you've got the high organic alien tech together.
I would like to put my fingers in the actual photo to see how big my fingers are next to the miniature.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, here it looks huge, but you know it's going to be about this big.
He looks like a person in disguise in that photo. But did you put your fingers when you are taking the photo and get the miniature, and suddenly huge King Kong fingers appear in the frame? So, you know.
I take it those photos didn't make the cut.
Yeah.
So moving on next, we've got the Hathile.
Yeah, Spec Ops, the Tohaa Spec Ops. Look at the hand again, it's the same mannequin from the previous design, but they are completely different stuff.
Yeah.
I can remember that from this design, then the Max Scorpio design came into play, because they have both the short jacket, and at some point while painting this color scheme, there was a white option. Okay?
Oh, okay, yeah.
And when we see the short jacket in white, Gutierrez and me said, it looks like Ryan Gosling in Drive, the movie.
Yep.
And that was cool. We can even make an intentionally homage miniature to that. And that were finally the Max Scorpio miniature.
Yeah, brilliant.
What we can see here is that many elements from previous Tohaa designs, because I remember at what point of the Tohaa design was this design made.
Yeah.
This was obviously made after the Hector's was designed, and also the Galtarsos and all that. So we can see this backpack, which is from the Macaul.
Yep.
Having this connection with this gauntlet, which is from the Ectros.
Yeah.
So it's like because the Spec Ops is like, you know, the
stealthy, sneaky behind the lines, kind of.
It's the miniature that represents the player. It's from the campaign Paradiso, the Spec Ops is the one who benefits from the experience points after the missions. It's like the avatar of the player in the table.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, let's pick details from all the Tohaa troops. Let the best bits we like and put it into one miniature, because it's a miniature that can upgrade his stats, so he can have a higher armor value than the value that he has at the beginning.
Yep. Better weapons, better equipment.
Heavy customizable. I don't know if I have pronounced that correctly.
Yep, pretty much. Customizable.
Customizable. So, you know, as trying to make the epitome of Tohaa troops.
Yeah.
Picking the details from other designs and putting them together into a mashup of awesomeness.
There definitely is a mashup of awesomeness. I think that's going to be like a quote on people's forum tags from now on.
And once again, if you look at the miniature, once again, José Luis Roch, extracting the badassery of every design, because it finally looks very cool, and the pose while he's just standing there, he has really good
threatening pose.
Yeah, there's some tension in the legs, and the way he holds the gun that shows that this guy means business or something.
Yeah, and then on the actual battlefield himself, again, really lends well. Quite like the cream and black actually almost blends in slightly with the tree behind him, which is nice for a Spec Ops. And yeah, just really good colours. And then you've got the one with the hood as well.
Head, the hood with that almost all the Spec Ops has an alternative head option.
Yeah.
And extra weapon sprue, which people really celebrate that, because everybody was asking for extra bits.
And that's really, really good. And I like the way you've got the two different miniatures painted up very, very similarly, but, you know, nice backgrounds.
No, it's the same miniature, and we put the head using Photoshop.
But he did it well, you know, you can hardly tell at all, and it's a really nice, and it shows you, you know, the different options you've got available there. So moving on next, now this piece of artwork I love. It is brilliant, because, so this is the diplomatic delegate for the Tohaa. So this is the kind of more of a campaign model than one you'd field generally in the army, but you can choose to field it, can't you?
Well, it's the VIP for the Tohaa.
Yeah.
And at some point she plays a role in the Infinity backstory of the campaign Paradiso.
Yeah.
She is like the VIP that has to be protected. At some point, Gutierre let's develop a true profile, minor cheap true profile for this miniature, but
yeah,
in order to make it more useful for everybody who gets this product. But he's more a politician than a soldier, of course, and I can see that these lines, this is the Carlos Torres when he has been so influenced by manga artists lately.
Yeah.
So the sweet face.
I was going to say, that's what I love about this, when you've got the kind of real Disney princess eyes, and it looks like a really sweet, caring, loving kind of character, and then you've actually got the kind of semi-dark, semi-evil approach, which fits.
The art director, Carlos Torres, has in his art skills, he makes like very, I don't know how to say, with quick upgrades.
Yeah.
Suddenly, he's better. And then suddenly he makes better designs. He's some people is like that. Suddenly makes an upgrade.
Yeah.
And just because he was looking at some art books and he got inspired by more art, so suddenly he became more manga in the faces. But we like it. We like it. They are good designs. So,
yeah, really good.
Yeah.
And then moving on from that, the actual kind of finished miniature as well.
Yes.
You can see the flow. You can see. I mean, it's a lot of people have a lot of different things to say about the miniature. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, so many people tell it's Beyoncé and that kind of stuff. I can tell that Jose Luis enjoyed making this miniature very much. He liked the concept artwork and he wanted to add some flow to it, and the legs and the way the cloak.
Yeah, well, you got the Angelina leg before Angelina even did it. So
yeah, well, we'll have to check the dates, but
I think this definitely came out first. So.
Well,
but no, brilliant. And
I won't make any cruel Angelina Jolie jokes. Sorry.
No, I'm not making cruel jokes. Just the leg. But yeah, really, really good. And it shows the kind of noble but also lethal side of the Tohaa as well. You know, you've got this kind of attractive looking creature, but there is a slight menace there anyway, and you know it's trying to use you somehow.
Well, at some point we decided, really speaking serious, that Tohaa must have attractive female figures. I mean, it was out of discussion in a moment. They must have attractive female figures. It's important.
Yeah.
If people are going to jump in this army, we have to use. The sculptors have mastered the male and female anatomy in a very high level way. I mean,
few gamers can say that.
Yeah, and that is what after a creative meeting they decide this army must have attractive females, because we can get into one very alienish bisexual design, you know, that there is no male and female with this alien race, and we will make all the miniatures look the same. Having male and female brings more variety into the range, of course.
And also, it fits with their theme. They're trying to seduce their way into the human sphere to manipulate them to.
Especially with the role of like puppeteers that the Tohaa have.
It's always the power behind the throne that's the ones in control, and that suits nicely for it. And then again on the tabletop, really, really good. And again, you've got the kind of harsher elements around her on the outside of the military side protecting her, but you can still see that there is direct links between them. It's not just.
Yes, I enjoy very much making these photos, making the blurry people around her, so she is the center of the composition. And when you have miniatures painted by Angel Giraldez, scenarios painted by Alex Quintero, who's a great guy and makes incredible scenarios, particularly these scenarios, the Hack Islam scenario with desert-looking stones, the light. It's so easy to make photos in that scenario because the light shines very much and all the miniatures are properly very well illuminated.
Yeah. It just bounces back from the sand, and
yes,
and even just the level of detail on the kind of shrubbery and everything else, really good. So next up, we've got the Massasauga.
Well, I think people have already seen this character in the first Tohaa cover from the Paradiso campaign book.
Yep.
But the miniature has not been released yet, and this is the concept artwork.
Yeah.
So we can see the elements that she's obviously a female version of the Ectrox,
Yep.
which is the heavy infantry, and we can see that I particularly like the helmet very much. I think that
really
Carlos had a very good idea with that, with a half mask, half face.
Yeah.
And,
There's slightly kind of bird elements to it as well.
Yes, and Carlos also insisted in having these lines from the helmet from the lashes of the eye. Looks really cool, and this miniature will probably be made by Jose Luis Roch, and this is gonna be awesome. I mean, this has potential to become a very super blister.
Looks brilliant. I mean, even in terms of kind of the biological elements underneath the main armour, you've actually done a kind of musculature there of her. So rather than being kind of separate tissue, it actually looks like it's her muscles shining through, like the six-pack. And
the symbiotic armour, yes.
Really good. And again, the design of the weapons, you know, typically Tohaa, but like the spear or CC weapon, yeah, really interesting. So, yeah.
Yes, this is the end of the of the eye candy
I want more.
Yeah,
There's got to be more.
Okay, if you want more, remember to get the Infinity Artbook.
Yep, if you pre-order it, you get the
Miranda Ascot miniature.
That's it.
Really?
I should know by now.
I mean, what else can you ask for?
And this is the Mercenaries that has the same profile as the one you can win in the leagues this year. So another chance to get hold of that character for your army. And if you actually go to Gen Con, you can pick up the art book there and the miniature as well. Excellent.
Yeah.
We'll see you for the next part.